D2DNY, Real World HVAC Simplified. And right now I'm sitting in my van. I'm about to head out for a service call, a no heating service call. Ryan said that their thermostat does what it wants. More than likely, the problem is with the furnace. So I'm gonna go check that out. It's a service call. But I sat in the van, and before I head out, I thought I would do this quick video to share this with you guys. You know, everyone in the HVAC committee or community. You know, to share the things that I've been doing since the beginning of this coronavirus pandemic. The things that I've been doing since the beginning of this pandemic. You know, I've been going out pretty much every day since this coronavirus pandemic had begun, because the service that a HVAC contractor, you know, gives, our services is essential services, and you know, we have to still do our part. I mean, if you work for, say, Keyspan, gas company, National Grid, you know, the electric company, the water company, you know, your essential services, your services, you know, are needed in order for people to live or survive, basically. So I want to also shout out to all HVAC contractors who has been weathering the storm and still, you know, rendering their services throughout these crazy times, you know, throughout these times of this coronavirus pandemic. You know, I mean, you could just choose to stay home with your family and hunker down, but you are, you know, shout out to you if you're still going out there and taking care of people, especially the elderly. You know, if you're 65 and older, it will be difficult and even life-threatening for you to be in a house that your thermostat is reading 40 degrees or your thermostat is reading 50 degrees. You know, that's where you have to sleep and that's where you have to stay and spend your day if you're 65 and older. And and I'm talking about Fahrenheit. Okay, 50 degrees or 40 degrees Fahrenheit, because your furnace is not working or heat is not working. You're in dire need of an HVAC mechanic or contractor. And if you're say like in Florida or California, you know, if you're down south and your thermostat is reading 100 degrees, and again you're 65 and older, you know, even if you're not 65 and older, you could be even younger, but you have some, you know, some ailments, or you have a weaker immune system, then, you know, these extreme ambience or situation could have, you know, could mean life or death for you. So HVAC service and contractors, you know, we have to still go out. All right, so shout out to you if you're one of those. I myself, you know, I'm one of those. But I want to share these tips with you real quick. So the first tip that I want to share is actually, I must say this is tip 0 or number 0. It's that you have to keep a positive mental attitude. Be positive in your thinking and in your thoughts. And so that, you know, if you sneeze or if you cough, don't automatically think that you're infected and that you have the coronavirus because I have a cough, or because you have a cough, or because you have a little my throat hurts a little bit right here, and oh my God, I'm infected. No, you know this is, don't do that. So you got to keep your mind positive, okay? Because people who does with this negative mindset, they are the one who went and clog up like a clog filter, a dirty filter, clog up the medical system. You know what I'm saying? They clog the medical system the ERs and overwhelmed. The doctors are already overwhelmed. You know, they're working around the clock. You know what I'm saying? That's the meaning of a pandemic. If you're in the medical field, shout out to you too, because wow, you know, they're working around the clock. You know, they're overwhelmed. So if you know, just be positive in your mind with your thinking. Don't just run out there and clog the system just because you have a cough. You know, there's people actually, let it be for people who actually needs it. All right. So now moving to tip number 1. And just a side note, these are the things that I've been doing, you know, since the beginning of this coronavirus pandemic, and so far I've been fine. I am fine. I feel healthy, and I feel great, and I will, you know, I'll continue to do what I can to help others throughout this entire, you know, pandemic, coronavirus pandemic. You know, actually, and I also like what I do, so that's like the cherry on top. All right. Anyways, tip number 1: you want to wear a mask. All right. See, I'm wearing a mask right now, and I typically don't wear a mask if I'm just going out and about. If I'm in a well ventilated area, if I'm in my car like I'm in right now, I'm in my van right now. You know, I wouldn't be wearing. I typically wouldn't wear a mask during those times. However, I am wearing the mask right now because I'm about to go in and do service, and I want this thing to be, you know, I want it to set in. You know, I want it to like form around my face. I have some hair and some beard, a little bit of beard, so I wanted to get, you know, get set in. You know, so I don't want any leakage around it. So I wanted to be. I probably these are the adjustable strings. Let me go closer to that so you can see what I have. Because this is the Milwaukee. Okay, you can read it. But I know that these are going to be hard to find. You know, if you don't have it already, you're going to be struggling to find a pair of these. So that's the reason why I don't even wear these every single time, you know, of the day, because, you know, they don't last forever. You know, there's a certain amount of wear hours. You know, you can't just wear them forever. They, you know, I don't read this. I don't read the fine print or the instructions, but I know that for certain they're not good forever. They don't last forever. So, you know, you want to, if you don't have to wear it, don't wear it. They don't wear it if you don't have to wear it. So, like, for example, if you're outside and there's lots of fresh air and you're not conversating with anyone, then, you know, why do you need a mask? And you can save the mask for when you actually need this, when you're going to be in close proximity, talking to customers, talking to people, and you know, if you're going into someone's home, you definitely need the mask, because, you know, for the most part, people in general, they don't ventilate their houses or their homes. You know, I mean, if you're a homeowner, or if you're living, if you have a home, it doesn't have to be a homeowner. If you have a home, you know what I'm talking about. Check right now. Open your windows. Let your windows stay open for the next 10 minutes. It won't. I mean, it's gonna do you. It's gonna feel so good. All right, because now you're gonna have fresh, clean air flowing or within your living space or your living quarters. Majority of people, like right now, as I'm doing this video, the air in their living space has been there for the last 6 months. I'm laughing about it, but it's for real. So if you're a contractor and you're going into someone's home to do service, you're going to want to wear a mask, because even though the media said that coronavirus is not transmitted via the air, you got to touch the surface, you know, whatever the media is saying. If you have stagnant air and someone is infected and they sneeze, or, you know, maybe the spit fly from the saliva or spit came out from their mouth, whatever, you know, I mean, in your homes, there's always fluids leaving your body. It's your home, okay? And those fluids somehow get picked up or are attached to some dirt particle or dust particle, which then become dry and it's floating around in the stagnant air. You walk in as a technician, and then you go to the AC unit or the heating unit or the heating furnace, and you remove the panels and the filter, the dust goes flying, and those particles already have the coronavirus germ attached to it. So you need your mask, okay? Especially if you're going into, I wouldn't recommend going into anyone's home to do any kind of service unless you're wearing a mask or a respirator. That's tip number 1. All right, and if you can add to it other reason why it's a great idea, even though these masks, they aren't like a respirator which is going to filter like crazy, filtering like grains of moisture, crazy scientific filters. These are just typical like dust masks. But if you wear, if I don't know, when people is talking or when people speaks, saliva comes from their mouth, which gonna bring me to tip number 2. Tip number 2, you want to maintain safe distance while you're having a conversation, whether it would be to your between you and your coworkers, between you and the client or the customer. You want to maintain safe. This is not the time to be up in each other's face. I mean, you can be up in your wife or your girlfriends, that's fine. But I'm talking about strangers or people that you're networking with or working with. If they're outside of your home, this is not the time to be in anyone's face. So you got to maintain. But there's no reason if you're having a conversation that you should be having a conversation and you are not at least 4 feet away, or there's not at least 4 feet in between you and the person that you're having a conversation with. Because when it's almost guaranteed that when you're talking and when you're conversing, that saliva will escape your mouth. And when the saliva escape your mouth and you're within close proximity of the person that you're conversing with, what's going to happen? You're looking face to face, eye to eye. More than likely from your lips to their lips, or from your lips to their face, or in their nostril, or in their mouth, or in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? We don't want that, because this is basically, if someone has the virus and coronavirus, and that happens, then more than likely, I'm not saying that it's guaranteed you'll be infected, but the possibility is going to be extremely high, and that could have been avoided if you just stand 4, 5, even 6 feet up. As a matter of fact, 10 feet apart. Like if someone is 10 feet away from you, you can hear what they're saying clearly. Unless it's like a noisy environment. You know what I'm saying? But I would say just don't do. These are things that I've been doing so far, mind you. So I'm not telling you this is how I've been surviving so far. And like I said, I've been out every work day since this coronavirus pandemic had begun, and I'm fine. All right. So yeah, maintain safe distance. That's tip number 2. All right, maintain safe distance with your peers. Don't be in anyone's face. Don't have a conversation up in anyone's face, and don't let anyone have a conversation up in your face. You got to step back. Oh well, he came close to me and talked to me. Okay, well, step back. You have the choice to step back. And if you be conscious, be smart. If someone is talking in your face, well, turn your head away. Don't look them directly in the eyes. Let them speak to your back or something. Just maintain a safe distance. Protect yourself and protect others. All right. Tip number 3: no handshakes. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. I don't care, even if you're not in the HVAC trade, whatever. I mean, it's no handshakes. Don't do it, okay? Don't do it. No handshakes. All right. Tip number 5: wash. What do I mean by this? Wash your hands with soap. All right, with soap. Don't just run some water over it and then say, "Hey, that's my hands." No, with soap, you're gonna wash your hands thoroughly. And this coupled with using hand sanitizers, if you can get your hands on it, like I said, these things are hard to come by nowadays. mask, and sanitizers. I have this little bottle here. I can't even find it somewhere around here in the van. But anyway, you know, these things are hard to come by. But wash your hands. If you have hand sanitizers, that's great. You know, every time you finished with a job and you're back in your vehicle or your work van, squirt a little bit of sanitizer on your hands, rub them up like so. You know what I'm saying? Because then that will, you know, any germs that's on your hands or on your fingertips, you will, you know, be able to disinfect your hands and disinfect your fingers and stuff, and before you can touch your steering wheel and drive off. Okay. Now, in the case where you don't have any hand sanitizers, which is likely, well, back to tip number 0. Be conscious. You got to be conscious. You got to know that, yo, I just finished this job. I've just pumped the gas, right? I didn't get a chance. There's no water. There's no soap. My hands, it looks clean, but you can't see the germs. So do not touch your mouth, your nose, your eyes, anywhere on your face. Keep your hands away from your face. All right? Be conscious of that until you get to a faucet with hot or even cold water, preferably hot water, and some soap, and wash your hands thoroughly. Do not touch your face. I mean, if you this is another benefit of wearing the mask too, because it prevents you from putting your hands in your mouth or your nose if they're not clean, because you have to go through an extra step to remove it. All right, so that's number 5. Oh, that's number 4. I lost count, but I think that's number 4. Actually, I missed one, so I'm just gonna say 5. No, absolutely no hugging. All right, and it's okay to hug your sons and your daughters if they're in your household. You know what I mean? But that's fine. Hug your wife, hug your girlfriends. But I'm just talking about strangers, people outside of your home. It doesn't matter if it's your long lost or long seen brother or grandmother. It doesn't matter. If they're not in your household, no hugging. As a matter of fact, don't even visit grandma. Don't even bring the kids over. Don't even go over to your friends. Listen, just don't do that. No huggings. No huggings. Don't do it. Okay. This is basically the things that I've been doing so far, and you know, I'm fine. Okay. Last thing, but not least, that's number 6 on the list. Number 6, quarantine. Okay. You're gonna want to quarantine. You know, put yourself into quarantine if you are seeing any symptoms or any of the known symptoms of this coronavirus. When I say put yourself in quarantine, you can use step number 1, which is the mask. That means you can always keep the mask on. All right. And then you can also use step number 2, which is always maintain safe. So now you, if you think that you're exuding or showing any of the symptoms of the outlined or known symptoms for coronavirus, you know, mean that even in your home, you're gonna want to wear your mask in your home. You're going to maintain that same safe distance while you're talking with your loved ones, your wife, your sons, your daughters, whoever is in your household. And so quarantine yourself. But I would say that given that the medical system is overwhelmed right now, and the nurses, you know, the doctors, they're working overtime, they're exhausted, they're tired. There's people that are actually sick. I'm talking about, they're feeling the real pinch. No, not the pinch, the punch. They're feeling the punch of this coronavirus. All right, these people needs to be in the ER. These people needs to be on a hospital bed. These people need care immediately, or else they'll die. All right, so you can quarantine yourself, you know, until you're certain that, you know, well, yeah, definitely this has to be it. And I mean your fever. So if you get a high fever, by all means go right away to go to the emergency room, go see your doctor if you get a high fever, because then you're entering the, you know, danger territory. You know, if you have high fever plus you're you know, experiencing, you know, the other symptoms of the coronavirus, then by all means go right away. But, you know, don't go and clog up the medical system, you know, more than it is clogged up right now, like a dirty hair filter that hasn't been changed for the past year or so. You know what I mean? Don't do that. You know what I mean? If you got a little cough, a little sneeze, doesn't mean you are infected. Remember, back to tip number 0. Be conscious, keep a good positive mindset. Okay? So if you have a little cough, a little sneeze, doesn't mean you have coronavirus. Don't go running and clog up the system more than it is, and you might do yourself a disservice, because all you may have is just a little bit of allergies, and which should have been otherwise be fine, and then because you ran out there, now you get infected for real. Okay? So, you know, and you also want to be mindful, if you have your little sneeze or a little cough is nothing comparing to someone who's about to fall over. They are literally about to fall over, because this thing is this virus or coronavirus within their systems, or within their bodies, or like to the extreme. So they're about to fall over, they're about to die. So let them get a chance to get ahead and get the service and the treatment they need, as opposed to you that's worried about this little simple cough which you have, which may not be even coronavirus anyways. All right, so those are my six tips that I thought I'd share with the HVAC or HVAC community. I said the right, community. And you know, anyone out there who's you know, everyone has to deal with this. You know, I mean, it's a pandemic, so it's on a global scale. Please like, share, subscribe. You know, turn on your notification, and support my channel.